Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Edith Wangeshi. I'm so happy that you're here. So as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my testimony regarding my undergrad. Okay, it's like the main focus of the testimony, but like there are other things in it, but yeah. So let's get into it. So the year is 2019. I'm in third year. Okay, I'm not in third year, it's after third year, but we've not yet gotten into fourth year. So it's that break between third year and fourth year. So we can say I was still in third year, right? So it's 2019. Rewind to 5 years before. The year is 2014. I'm in Form 3 high school, and my family decides to make a certain financial investment. So that will be like the basis of why everything happened. That's why everything starts, right? So, you know, at the time when they were making the decision to go ahead with whatever, it looked good, yeah? It was promising, but things didn't turn out that way. So I'm in third year now, I'm in uni. Now we've come back to 2018, 2019. First semester, things start getting hard. So my parents are like struggling to pay school fees. So already I'm in an expensive school, right? To make it worse, I'm doing a double major. So I have extra units. So on top of it being expensive, now there's like more units to pay for. So it's like more expensive, yeah? So I noticed in first year that they were like struggling to pay for my school fees, but they still managed. So that's first semester of third year, right? Then second year comes and it's like really bad. Like now it's just looking bad, like it's not promising. So at this point I'm not a believer, right? Then by God's grace I get through that semester. I go do my internship. So it's April now of 2019 and we've come back to school. We're supposed to go into fourth year, yeah? So there's no money. There's no money. So your girl has to be sustained by God in school, yeah? My dad comes to school, tries to talk to like management, and he's like, we are really working hard to make sure everything works out. Nothing. So don't forget, I'm doing a double major. So I have like full-time classes and I have evening classes. So it's like I'm doing semesters and trimesters. Semesters and trimesters at the same time, you know, like it's just a lot. And in this semester, I think I was doing like 7 units or something, and they've said let her go home and take a gap year, then she will come back when you guys have money. Hey my friends, we didn't want to hear that. So I'm just here telling God, I know like this can't happen. Anyway, put a pin on that, yeah? Then, now this April, my cousin and I are introduced to a certain church by some friends. So, we go to the church. I think this was like our second Sunday there or something. So that Sunday, my friend Eric Thimba was preaching. My now friend, he wasn't my friend then. So, he preaches and he talks about the goodness of Jesus and all these things. Now, I'm raised in a Christian household. There's nothing I don't know about this Jesus, but I just wasn't feeling it, you know. Like I was at that place where my relationship with God, with Jesus, with church was just wrong. It wasn't there actually. Anyway, so we listen, and then at the end of it, he does that call of like, if you'd like to receive Christ in your life and whatnot, guys. I start weeping. Like, why am I weeping? You know, not the cute crying, like you're crying, like everything is coming out of your face, like every hole in your face is producing something, like the whole face is just here. So I'm just there weeping, and I'm like, why am I weeping? This is not cool. Like me, I'm gangster. I don't do this church, whatever. I'm just there weeping. He says, so say this prayer after me, Lord Jesus. I'm just there, Lord Jesus, and I hate it because I'm like, yo, like this is not the brand. This is not the brand. Anyway, so church is over. I'm not looking at my cousin, like I'm seated next to my cousin, but no one is looking at the other. Kumbe, the same thing is happening to her. She's weeping, but she doesn't want me to see her. So everyone is like facing their side, you know. Anyway, so after that I go home and I'm just like, what was that? Like, yeah, oops. So after that I go home and I'm like, what was that? Anyway, on our way home, so my cousin says, hey, church was intense. I'm like, yeah. So like no one wants to say what happened to them, but like we all know what happened. So we're having lunch and like we just decide to come clean. So I'm like, yo, you know this happened. And she's like, same, like what was that? Nini. We're like, why are we weeping? Like there's nothing wrong, why are we crying? Anyway, so we go. And like, so the whole week, personally, I spend it fighting what I did on Sunday. So that's the MO, like just do anything that is anti-church, anti-Christ, anti-everything. Then on Sunday, I go back to church. Again, the same thing happens. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not coming back to this church. But now I feel like I loosened up, you know? Like I was just like, okay, there's something happening here. Ebu, like, let's just be keen and see what's happening. So that's how my relationship with Christ started. So now the semester is about to start. Okay, what I didn't tell you guys, the previous semester before going for internship, I had not paid a single coin. Nothing. Now in this specific school, if you have a balance of even like 10k, you won't be allowed into classes. Like they come and collect your IDs. You won't be allowed to sit for any exam because you can't download your exam card. So for me, it's like God is just working things out for me, like putting people in offices for my sake, you know, like you just find favor with people and they're like, oh, that's the case. Okay, let me just talk to Nani, whoever is in charge of what, and you'll just go to class. So that's how I got through the second semester in third year, and like the other evening classes, yeah. Then we get into fourth year, so I'm just like, what is this? So same thing happened. Someone here's like, I'm not able to register for my units and all that because I have a balance. Favor, just like people in offices just get together and like go talk to people who are in charge, and I'm called and I'm told, okay, continue. Like guys, like I wasn't lifting a finger. So like my relationship with Christ now is like really good. Like I have faith and all these things, you know. So yeah, I'm not like nothing is happening. I don't need to do anything. Like God is just moving, you know. So yeah, I get into first semester, I go through it. It's exam time, I'm allowed to do exams. Like at home, things are just stuck. You know, my parents are trying everything, but nothing is working out. So essentially, that's how I got through school. From the second semester of third year to finishing fourth year, that's how I got through school. Just favor, purely favor. Like I can't even take credit for anything. Like God was just making sure things are working out. That's the Lord, guys. That's the Lord. So I got through school. Now it's graduation time. Well, now my balance is in like the hundreds. You know the one where you're even ashamed. Like what do you even go tell them now? I don't know. Like what do you tell them? So I just decide, mimi wacha tu nikubali, I'm not graduating. Then because I was doing double major, I had missed an exam. So I wasn't gonna be able to graduate with my class. I had to wait for the other class so that I could wait for the unit to be offered, do the exam with them, then graduate. But I still knew, like, it's a year later, but I don't see how this is going to happen. Anyway, so what happens? Did I go to school? I think I went to school to ask them, like, can you just now like close my account? I know there's still a balance, but like I'm done with school. Like I have nothing pending, so just close my account in a way, but I'll clear when I'm able to, then graduate and get my stuff. Then they're like, oh, you're done with everything. Okay. So I go home. Then the next day, okay, I had gotten a job already. So the next day I'm working and I'm called like when I'm with a client. So I'm like, who's this guy calling me? I don't know. So I call back later, like just after I'm done with the meeting, and I'm like, hey, you called me, who's this? They're like, hey, we are calling you from your school. We wanted to ask you if you want to graduate. Excuse me. Have you seen my balance? Do you know who you're talking to? Just pause, hold that phone call. Go check this admission number, then come back and tell me what you're trying to tell me. It's like, yeah, we checked, we know you're nani, you have this issue, but we just want you to graduate so that like you're not held for too long for sijui what reason. Guys, I left work. Yeah, that was the end of my work day. Don't do that. Don't use your miracles vibaya. Usitoke job. Anyway, no, like I didn't resign, I just left. So I called my mom and I'm like, guess what? They just allowed me to graduate, nini. My mom is like, my gosh, like we've been praying, but like what? I didn't expect that to happen, you know. So I go home. So they've called me on like, I think Tuesday. I'm supposed to graduate on Thursday. I'm just like, I have nothing. My hair is not done. I don't even have money to do my hair. Like, I have no clothes to wear, no shoes to wear. Like, it was just a mess. I'm just like, how am I going to graduate? And I needed to pay, I think 6K or something for the graduation, everything, the gown and everything. So I take the next day off from work. I get ready, I go pay, I get that. There's something they were giving us. I get the gown, I get my hair done and figure out like what I'm going to wear and all that. God provided for that money. I don't know, the graduation fees or whatever. So yeah, I get ready and go and graduate. Yeah, then so it comes a time I need my certificate to apply for jobs. Mimi, like if there's one thing about me, guys, I'll always go. Like just tell me that no face to face, then we will know what to do with the no to turn it to a yes. Okay, so I went back there. Yani hata sijui, how do you go back there with such a, like unaenda kuambia nini? What are you going to tell them? Anyway, I always tell God, go before me, and he always does. So I got there and they're clearing me, guys. So they're clearing me, and in my head I'm like, don't they know like I have a balance? Like what's happening? So I'm torn between, do I tell them the truth of what balance I have, or is this God? You know, at this point I've seen so much of God, I don't even know. Like, and you know, God does things in the most crazy way. So I'm like, should I tell them or should I just keep quiet? Anyway, they're clearing me, and everything is there. Like my certificate is out, like, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I come clean? You know. Anyway, so I didn't. I was just like, let's see how it goes. So I just sit there. And they're done and they're like, okay, sign here. So when they remove that thing for signing, that's when they see there's like a star against my name, and they're like, this babe has a balance. So they're like, you have a balance here of how much? I'm just like, a lot. Then she tells me, what? Nini, like that's crazy, but we can do this thing. Like they figure out a way to make it possible for me to apply for jobs. And like, yeah, so it's like I've gone through the whole school process. Like I've gone to classes, done exams, graduated, gotten documents necessary for me to apply for jobs in this situation, in this madness. Now, let me now take you to how God was showing up for me constantly, you know. So these guys who are like moving mountains for me, you know, I feel like they were angels placed in certain offices for my sake. These guys, they were in those offices, and immediately I was done with school, 90% of them left the institution. They just left. They just decided that they want to apply to other places or move to other departments, even in the same school. Like, things just changed. Like, I went back and I'm like, where are these people? They're all gone. At times where I was outside, like I was done with school, but I needed something done, I'd find people in offices who just favor me. They're like, who are you? What's your name? What do you want? And things just happen, you know. Like my name was getting mentioned in places I wasn't, and the results are what was getting to me. Okay, like someone will feel they need to help me, go talk to someone in like a higher office or like who has more power. Then they just call me and they're like, oh yeah, so there's this situation you are going through, so we decided this and this is what you will be expected to do. Like it's all worked out, you know. So there was a lot of that. Then on my part, what I had to do, I had to show up. Guys, let me tell you, there's a time I went to do the exam without an exam card, without nothing. Like I just went to the office. So the whole week I'm studying with other people. Let's say it was study week. Even me, I'm studying. I know very well, I've been told by like some people, you're not doing this exam. Like some people in management, you need to go home and like sort your issues out. But me, I'm just like, I'm like, okay. that's you. Me, I'm gonna show up, I'll do this exam. So I'd literally study the whole week for the papers, come to school on the day of the exam. So there's this specific time, my paper was on a Friday, yeah. So I study the whole week because I don't know what to do. Then the day of the exam, I get up early. So I'm ready. I'm over prepared for this exam, guys. You know, like when things are not looking up, I don't know, there's just like a drive that you have. So I get to school at like 7 a.m. I even know the offices are not open, but I'm just like, I'm gonna try my luck. So I get there and I'm waiting outside the office. I'm still studying. So guys come and they're like, oh, I can't download my exam card. Like guys are just coming to tell me their issues. I'm just like, girl, if only you knew the situation I'm in. So guys are coming there. They're like, yeah, you know, Sidri, they've written my number wrong. Sidri, this is happening. And I'm just like, wow, such nice problems to have. Wow. Anyway, so I sit there and I wait for these guys to open. So the first person who comes to the office, they're like, hi, what's up? So I know they're not the level of management that can clear me. I'm just like, yeah, I have an issue, but I'm waiting for Nani because I know like this person won't sort me out. Then they're like, what's up? I can help you. I'm just like, no, you can't. No, you can't. This is a problem. It's big. Anyway, so they call me to their office and I go and I tell them this is the issue I have. And they're just like, oh, really? I'm so sorry about that. So I'll clear you. I'm just like, what? You guys. So they're like, yeah, I'll just clear you. He'll go do the exam, then we'll come explain it to whoever. I'm just like, that's how I got to do that paper. After I had studied the whole week, shown up for the paper and told God, me, Abu, do your part. Me, I'm here, I'm ready. So what's your excuse? Will you say I wasn't in school, that's why I didn't do the paper? And like that shows like how you have to live out your faith. You actually have to practice it, you know. Show up, go to places where you're not qualified. I don't know if you guys have heard Jalango's story. If you haven't, go watch his Engage talk. He talks about how he was going for an interview to, did he want to be a host on Kiss or something like that? And guys, he went up to the last stage. He's told that if you have a degree, stand here. If you don't stand here, he has nothing. And he knows he has nothing. He's like, okay, like what's the worst that they can do? You know, let's see what people who have degrees are told about what happens on the other side. So that's literally faith, you know. We need to walk out our salvation. Like if you know Christ and he has told you like, be strong and very courageous, I'll be with you, you know. He will be with you. He's not lying. He's there with you. So what are you going to do? Go to those places where you're scared, you know, show up, have hope, be encouraged, you know. Like don't fear people. Like what's the worst that they can do? Kill the flesh. So show up to those places. If God has called you to do something, do it. Don't be scared, okay? So I hope this story encourages you. If there's something you're trusting God for, go ahead and get it. He is with you. Just commit it to him. And if it's for a good reason, you know, if it's for his will and for the advancement of his word, he will show up for you, okay? As long as your motives are right. So be encouraged, have hope. Whatever you're trusting God for, do it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, turn on the notification, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.